But okay, guys. Decided the other night I didn't like how things. I didn't like the way I felt into this. I'm not gonna do this right now, and wasn't really paying my peace, my harmony, and all that. I wasn't. That's one of my biggest flaws that I do have. I'm gonna get over here though. I just thought of this, like, maybe, luckily no one's over. Sky's looking pretty, pretty good. If it does rain, so I don't gotta worry about rain. So see where I left off. I had two names because I forgot about these people, and I actually kind of like them a little bit. And damn, I just remembered another person, which I'm gonna go off of him right now, just because I want to mention him. This list was originally about exposing for the most part, and it was also about me expressing what I thought about people and their skill, where they could have gotten to. So you had to tone it down a little bit, gotta pay attention. And how what greatness gotten to that they wanted to get to. But I'm Serge. I'm gonna talk about him right now because, like I said, not only is this about what I was just talking about, but it's also about the people that I saw greatness in, however you want to put it, that I saw a lot coming from, and honestly, they touched me differently than others. Serge was definitely one of them. He was one of the ones that encouraged me to change the way that I would shoot and how I would hit my shot. I got a freaking prickly coming over here. Ugh. The heck out of my foot. That's stupid. But I also came over here so I wouldn't have to. Oh shoot. Yeah, so I wouldn't have to struggle to talk, because I feel like sometimes I don't get to talk and the voice goes through the thing correctly. So that bothered me a lot also. And it kind of put a lot of strain on my face and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess I might as well. Now, one thing I noticed about Serge, very confident. I don't think he was very playful. What I seen, a lot of energy, very excited. To me, he did not, like, when I watched him play in some of his games that I seen, he did not look like he was afraid. I didn't see any too much negative. Very bright person to watch play. You can feel just him shine. He could change. He's very changeable when he's playing. The one thing I did like about him, he could do something and it would change everything. Very, very good as far as intimidation could go. Very nicely done in my eyes. Sorry about that. Hold up. I'm trying to yawn. I don't like him in this game. I don't like yawns to get away from me. I hate it sometimes when they do. Other times when I sneezed, like, dang it, because I wanted to sneeze, because my sneezes feel good. I know some of y'all it hurts. It used to hurt me too when I was younger. But yeah. I really hope the rain does not come in on me like this. I'll have to go into one of them bathroom stalls or some crap, man. Or just over there. But yeah, I also seen a lot of, when I watched him, I also seen that I didn't see too many weaknesses. Very strong-willed, very self-sufficient person. Now that he could have been, because he was young also, and I could also feel a little bit of, probably wasn't as good at that as I'm feeling. Still growing, still had a lot of room to go to. Had a farther way he could have gone, but he quit super early, which is a shame. He achieved a lot for the short time he was here. Admired by many and looked upon as one of the best from some in his own right. He could have definitely, I could definitely see him in top 10. I could definitely see it. He could have gotten there, and he had the potential to beat pretty much everybody, I'm pretty sure, at least once. And yeah, I could definitely see that in him. Very respectable player, also. So his traps, it was actually pretty good at trapping. A lot of people didn't think he was, but he's actually not too bad at it if he puts some effort towards it. Like I said, very playful player. He could be serious, but he was there to enjoy himself as well, though. Making no mistake. Shot, ground game, very good actually. He had one of the people used to say his shot was really fast. Now his shot was fast, and the way that he timed thing was pretty quick. I just think the one thing that he did not equip into the way that he went is because when you do certain things, you're not able to get to these other things. And I feel like he was very expressive in this, other than trying to push in some of the other stuff. Very wise player, but I think to some degree he was a little too smart into what he was doing. So that way, I think it kind of pushed him back. Because like I said, he did not take it. I mean, he took it pretty seriously. I just think, like I said, he was just there for the fun. It kind of became a game to him, and took it, whatever he's seen like he wanted to. It's like, all right, we're going to do this. And yeah. But I also came here because I wanted to get more of this done because this is a long list, and I might even go in and out of other people just like this one. But okay. But yeah, I'm just mainly, some of these people I talk about longer because I'm trying to get this stuff straight. I'm trying to give them their credit. I'm trying to say what needs to be said. I'm trying to give it out right. I don't want to come back to this and regret something that I freaking said. I don't want to be like, dang it, you didn't say this, or whatever. Because I tend to be a lot more clear when I'm not doing something like this. But yeah, I'm not going to complicate it. I think he did what he wanted to. He ended off happy. I don't think he had any regrets. Definitely not. Very proud player indeed. And I think I think he was good after that. No intentions of really coming back. He was also pretty good at MW2, I think. I think he played that. Yeah, pretty good at that as well. He could have been something in that too. Probably already was, because a lot of the older players in that game quit pretty dang early as well. But I'm Surge, like I said, he could have been top 10 for sure. He could have been up there. I could see him being better than anyone that I believe is in the 15s, the 20s, and whatever else. But moving on, so drops 1v1er. Pretty damn good, underrated. Definitely not known by everybody, but he was known by mostly. I'd say kind of. I'd say it's like middle. I think probably 45% of people knew who he was. I think more people knew who he was at the beginning, but as time went on, I think people kind of forgot about him. I've seen this guy play. I remember watching his games. There was something. He had like a lot of I don't even know what the right word is, but very clean player. You know, squeaky clean. It's like his sense of direction was so. It was almost like it was. It's like if you're looking into one of those mirrors or whatever, and it's just kind of like, just moving, and it looks so pretty. Very pretty. I don't know how to describe it exactly, but that's just how I've seen it. And it's not that he was too quick or anything. It's not his speed. It wasn't really necessarily how smart he was. I just think it was the way that he did it that really, got you. Very unique, special type of player. Nobody else like him. He definitely had his own way of doing things that nobody else really captured the way that he did. I could see that in him for sure. And I'm going to go ahead and say top 20 to 15. He definitely could have been up there. And the direction he was going, great potential. Beautiful shot. Beautiful placement. He could have definitely been formidable of outplaying people. He was actually very good at that, of outplaying somebody. And I know I've been talking about weaknesses as well. I don't really do that with everybody that I talk about. But like I said, it's not, most of this isn't because of that. I usually only talk about weaknesses when I feel like it's apparent, or if I feel like this person needs to get their weaknesses exposed because they thought too much of themselves. So I kind of do that for their own good, and they either see it or they don't. But I know what I seen, I know what I felt. And a lot of things you're not going to be able to see until you've gone through. And I know a lot of us, not a lot of us, some of us have went through these, and there's stuff that we have realized and seen within ourselves that we never even thought we would see until we went through all these trials and mistakes, until we were opened up to something that was missing, something that we wanted and we didn't know that we had and wanted within ourselves then and there, even though it wasn't connected to what we truly wanted, but it was definitely something that we needed. And I feel like a lot of you missed out on that, but this is why this has been going the way this has been going. This is why. So yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that. But yeah, I already talked about LM, surges. So with drops, I feel with drops is now this is hard, but I feel like if you can outshoot him, not so much of outplay him, but outmaneuver would be his would pretty much be where he becomes a little easier. If you got the shot, if you got the precision of the positioning of where he is and where you're going to be, oh yeah, you can get him pretty easy, I think. If you can just get past that presence that he's got in the game, yeah, past that as well. Some people just got this type of presence, and Drops had one of these calm presence, such a calming presence. It really gets to some people. I was about to talk about someone in particular, but I want to wait to talk about that. That's going to be that's going to be something special. All right, so Quixie. Oh yeah, wait a minute. So Drops 1v1 are pretty good, underrated, but credit was given right. Yes, so Drops did get the credit. I believe he did get it. He could have been, if he stayed longer, he would have gotten a lot more credit for sure. I just wanted to, I forgot that I put that down. Quixie, shit talker, thought he was good. Wasn't so bad, but overrated as hell. Yeah, okay. I remember when people were talking about Quixie. I remember that. It was something with Zapsy or something. Something like that. And saying that he was, all that. And I've seen him play before. I honestly did not see what the fuss was about, because all I could feel from him was, he was very hasty. He was too much up for the grabs. And I think that's what held him back the most. That's what put him where he was, for me to see him and feel him that way. I feel like he came into the community too early, and he just got a little full of himself a little too quick. I was about to make a joke, but I'm not going to say that. Definitely a good player, though. His shot was not bad. I just think he needed some more experience, some more time to understand the way to get to somebody when it comes to outplaying them, to where it comes to just making it easier for yourself. And a lot of people struggled with this. They knew how to outplay, they knew how to be smart and all that. It's just what made you fall short was that you didn't really understand what made somebody, tick, what made them come to you, what made them withdraw, what made them want to get you, what made them change the feeling that they had. It's like, do you know how to manipulate someone into believing that they can get to you? Therefore, they come to you and they do not even notice it. And that's actually very hard to do if you don't have the presence. I think Quixie had a pretty good presence. It wasn't too bad. But compared to other players, that presence was a lot bigger and a lot more intense. I feel like that held him back as well, because people were expecting a lot more from him, I'm sure, at the time. It was either challenge. I know none of you look at it that way, at least for the ones that, at least the top players, I know you guys, y'all aren't worried about none of that stuff. You spawn in, and it's time to play. But yeah, I think that was what his shortcoming was. Other than that, definitely a good player in his own right. he did not get to what was special. The uniqueness never really shone within him as bright as it could have. But I will still say 20 to 25 because I could definitely see him being pretty good. Not too good, definitely not too bad. And as far as trapping goes, there's another guy that looked good, but he couldn't trap. If you guys know what trapping is, man, if you really know what I'm trying to say here, he definitely wasn't too good at that. By the way, Drops, yeah, I didn't say, yeah, I'm trying though. Drops 1v1er was also pretty good at traps. Thankfully, I can say that. Otherwise, I don't want to have to trash you, dude. I don't want to have to do all that. So, okay, Jose. One of the most overrated to me and talked the most, but got beat the fuck up a lot. Okay, yeah. So, Jose. I remember so many games of people like he's played against, and he's crap talked them and tried to downgrade them and say he could beat them, and he just tried his best to put people down, even the top players. I could name a few top players that he has 1v1'd, MW2, BO2, maybe even MW3 as well. I'm pretty sure. I just mainly paid attention to the MW2 and BO2 games that I've seen him play in, though. And I've met him on BO2. He's a very obnoxious voice. He's got a lot of ego problems in his voice. Very fast-moving player. I feel like to some degree that did help him. A lot of the times it works against some people. But to his surprise, it did drive him a lot. That's where he mostly got that from, as some others. But that only gets you so far. Drive is good, but you end up shackling yourself in the end, and you run out. And the sustain is not so good. You end up using your emotions against yourself, and that's pretty much what happened to him. Biggest downfall right there. Playing with fire, man. Playing with a lot of fire. So yeah, definitely someone who felt good talking crap to you. I feel like when he played certain people, because he did beat some people. I think, he also faked games. Forgot about that. I think Quixie did too. It's a little hazy on my mind, but I think Quixie attempted to do that. I think he tried to do it on Wubsy. I think, yeah. Jose's tried to do it on... I think Jose hated Roxa or something. I don't know. Something like that. But yeah, Jose, he reminds me a lot of like Bovu. Because he liked to... not only did he like to camp, he is very desperate for that win. He wanted that win pretty freaking bad. Jose, though, I say 30. I'll give him 30 to 35. He's not that good to me because he's not really good when it comes to getting closer, and he's not that good of a wall banger either. Yeah, and I feel like without camping, he's not really that great, and he's not even as he's okay at camping. I wouldn't say he wasn't very good at doing it. He was we'll just say he was good at doing it, not very good. So yeah, I'm gonna keep that placement, and he couldn't trap for nothing. Yeah, let's not miss that. Yeah. So Nurks. NXRKS. Trash as hell. This is another guy I remember talking crap. Putting his energy up like a freaking planet. If he was a balloon, he swear he couldn't be popped. Yeah, another one of these, man. thought he was good at Nuketown. He was okay at it, not the best. A lot of people fall short with their shots, with their ground game, with their intellect, with how they understand of what to do when you play somebody, especially someone that's at a pretty good level of understanding of it all. He lacked in that department very badly. In some people's case, very crippling. If some of these people understood this better, they would be a lot better off than what they were. You just had to have this one little thing and you would have been just fabulous. You would have been a lot better. I would have freaking looked at you a lot more differently. Because if you're going to talk all this crap and all these people and put yourself up and put them down, then you at least better be doing something, you know? I mean, but for gosh sakes, hopefully you don't hold yourself back with that either. But yeah, I'm gonna say this again. I don't even care if I said it before. Cutting trap, yeah. One thing I did like about him though was he had a lot. Now, to some degree, it wasn't real confidence because he was insecure. Easy to see. Jose was very insecure as well. Yeah, I'm sorry. We gotta include some people, right? That deserve it, that were like that. You know, not deserve it. I'm just kidding. We're not here to hurt nobody. But yeah, Nurks. I liked that it's just the way that he would shoot somebody and catch them. I think that's one thing he had that did help him. It just wasn't very long lasting. That shot of his kind of failed him in the midst of battle. Some moments he'd have it like 2 or 3 times, and then he'd get his friggin' ankles broken and twisted, looking backwards at him, whatever. Wasn't very good when it came to middle range. He suffered with middle range because he didn't understand the distance of how things came to be. Not too bad long range, not too bad close range, but I think the middle distance is what threw him off the most. Which in a lot of instances, that's really what it comes down to, the closing in part, and that got to him a lot. In my eyes, what I seen. Dexterity was good, actually had more to give. Dexterity, yeah. I remember a lot of people talking about him. I was also good friends with him. He's never changed on me necessarily. We were mutual. I have a lot of mutual friendships. I have a lot of bonds and connections I've made with people. And every time I came around him, it was fine. None of that stupid stuff that some of you like to do. But yeah, one of the nicest looking shots. A lot of people can agree to that. Pretty good ground game. His shot, he did not, that's the thing about him. His shot kind of went in and out like 3 times or so until because he stuck around for quite a while actually, but he lost his shot for a long, until he quit. And then, even though he lost his shot though, he still had a better shot than most people. His ground game. Now, when I say ground game, I mean somebody that can just mainly dominate using their shot. And that's pretty much what he was. That was his strong suit. And it was good enough to compete with somebody that was even smarter than him because of the shot. Of the way he knew how to use his shot, it saved him a bunch. You can be smart with the way that you move, you can be smart with the way that you use your scope, or you can have both. But he definitely had a gift with that scope, for sure. Spawn trapping, not really known for his spawn trapping, not too good at that. His ground game is what got him to where what he was and what you saw and what we saw. Hold on. Yeah, I don't even think Yeah, I did say that. And Nurks, he was overrated. Quixie, definitely overrated. And I already talked about Drops. I said he was under. Dexterity, I think Dexterity's underrated. Definitely underrated. People only, I feel like, only acknowledged after the fact. But within the fact, people did acknowledge him, and I think he got a lot of credit for what he did. I think it's great. Even though when someone doesn't like someone, or when someone gives no one no problems, I think people got noticed more when they played people for post, certain people, or they just didn't have any beef. But for the people that had beef, like me, I didn't play too many people for post because I didn't care about it. Like I said, you can go back, you can see why. I already said it. But yeah, I feel like that's what brought attention to him too, and people to give him what he was, which is a shame. It shouldn't have to take all that for someone to notice somebody, but that's how it was. Dexterity, I'll put him 30-25. Only because he lacked the traps and there was people that understood more than him. I played Dexterity, and if you could get around that shot, it's not that difficult to play him. Love you, Dexterity. Verkstra, I'm going in on this freaking retard. Loudmouth, faked games, and booted people off for being better than him. Yeah, so Verkstra, he was actually very good before he started hitting. Definitely an overrated player, though. I think he was one of the most overrated. I don't care what anybody says about that crap. I'm so sick of people getting praised for virtually not as much as what you're telling me here, what you're trying to. I know what I've seen from this guy. I don't care about any of that stuff. He would just sit around with his friends. He's another one of those players that put himself on an imaginary pedestal, and if anything, he just glorified himself, and if anything, that was the most impressive thing he's ever done in his whole career, with how much he sucked on his own PP. But definitely a good shot. Not too bad of a shot at all. I liked his shot. Wasn't, pretty good. Knew a little bit of understanding when it came to 1v1ing somebody. Not too bad. Not too bad traps either. Not the best. I don't think he was that good at trapping personally, because I've seen it. I played him, and yeah. And I also used to whoop on him. Yeah, I didn't miss anything. Well, like I said, if you deserve this crap talk, you gonna get it from me. Yeah, I used to whoop on him. He got a little monitor, and that's pretty much what skyrocketed his confidence. But of course, I mean, you kind of need a monitor on BO2 for BO2 to actually give you, which sucks. I've already talked about this, so again, nothing held against anybody. But I can tell when it's you or is it the frames. And for Verkstra, it was definitely the frickin' frames. It was not him, wasn't him. I could tell you that. I could tell you that right now. Another player that could have reached a good peak, but he got distracted by all of the talking, all of the energy, and all everyone distracting him from. And I think at the end of it all, though, I think he was happy about it. I think you could have done a lot better, but you decided to go down that route. So yeah, I think that's it. Verkstra, 30-35. Because come on, man, if it's not equal terms, you're not happy. You would rather take an advantage other than booting people offline. But yeah, guess we'll leave you alone. I don't know. Sebzy. I've been wanting to talk about him because people started saying Sebzy, man, fuck Sebzy. I like, I'm glad you got into the game and all that. Whatever you did, glad you're happy. But I'm so sick of people bringing him up when I bring Sebzy up. No, it's Sebzy. What about Sebzy? No, man, what does that mean? It was Sebzy. You're thinking about Sebzy. No, man, I'm thinking about Sebzy. Apparently, I'm one of the only people that is. Sebzy was one of the best spawn trappers. And he had one of the most interesting shots I've ever seen, to the point to where I even tried it out myself. And it was pretty fun. It made me laugh. It was so interesting to watch him shoot a trap like that. I know some of you know, but he would hit a trap and he would hold in his scope. Like, he would shoot it and then it would go off to the side. Or he would go to frickin' TV and he would hold it in after he shot, like, wait a minute. Very good player, though. Very smart. One of the smartest players I've seen with the potential that he could have had, for sure. Very good understanding of shot, mobility, and all that. Definitely could have been a high tier player, yes. And the next one I'll talk about, this one's gonna touch me a bit. I'm sure it'll touch somebody else, maybe a few others. Yeah, Sebzy, deserving of one of the best spawn trappers to me. Definitely. Even though he did not give a crap and he chose to shoot traps the way he shot them, but he can hit a 50 doing it. He could hit a whole 50 doing it. Him and, which is the next person I'm about to get to, used to, I even went with them. They went on public and they troll people with spawn traps. It was funny. It was funny as hell. But yeah, Sebzy, I'll give him 25 to 20. Maybe 30 because he was a little overconfident and other players were a little bit more knowledgeable, so possibly 30 as well, which is pretty good considering, right? Z Sanable, Lux Please, Z Scrub Z4. Good friend, one of the best trappers, for damn sure. If anybody deserves that, it was definitely him. Definitely him. People forgot about him. He was one of the most forgotten players ever. I feel like a lot of people, when somebody leaves, especially, and they were good, people wouldn't even bring them up. They'd say that they didn't know him. It was like the favorite thing for a lot of people to say, especially the ones that I've been talking shit about. You choose just to discredit their existence, and I think that is super unfair to them. They're not here for that, right? But I'm here for you, and I think that's a load of crap. And they should be ashamed of themselves. They are ashamed of themselves. People I've taught crap to, they hurt themselves. Trust me. You don't need to say nothing. Z Sanable though. So kinda like Scrubsy, he had simplicity down. He made shooting someone super simple, very direct, very smooth, very accurate. Hit the target quick, even though his shot wasn't that fast. In BO2, usually when you ease your shot a certain way, it actually will hit someone quicker. So there's a lot of dynamics when it comes to shooting in BO2. That's why I would say that I have like 15 different ways of shooting, which there are probably more than that. There's probably 50 different ways that you can shoot and it hits someone differently, or it does something that's different. Maybe. I mean, it's like if you imagine like there's like tiny, like if you look in between my fingers, like that's one shot and then this is another, it's very close together, and very smart player, Now, I played Subsy and I played Desanable. Definitely had a lot more growing to do though when it came to ground game. Definitely did. They had a lot more to give than what they could have given. Very upsetting. Other than trapping, I could have beat Desanable's ass, which I did. So I was more of a ground game when he was more of a trapper than me at the time because I had a lot of a lot of difficulties. I could still hit him. I just think it was because, like I said, I was young and I cared about him on a deeper level. He was one of the only people that were my friends. Very dear friend to me, very close to me. And I appreciate that. I respect that from anybody in the community. If you've done that to me, then you're definitely going to beat me because, at least back then, because I didn't want to, I was very confused about how I wanted to go about trying on somebody or playing someone, because usually my emotions is what led me to play somebody for ghost, to even consider taking them seriously on that degree, to the point to where I don't even think about anything else or see anything else almost, right? Considering I didn't even take BO2 as seriously as people think. I take in real life a lot more seriously, if, to the surprise of a lot of you. I feel differently in real life when I become just blank. I have never been blank in BO2 like that. Sort of, but not to the extent. So, something I realized not too long ago, I don't really take playing on Xbox that seriously as I thought I did. And a lot of time I was trying to get to that place that I knew I could get to, and it's like, nah, dude, I don't want to, I'm not expressing that here. But Desanable, one of the best trappers for sure, top 10 at least, maybe even top 5, for gosh sakes. Very good. People don't understand how good he was. Could have been even higher than that, to be honest with you. He could even be number, maybe even 3. I think he was on that same level. I started trapping by far. So, oh my gosh, had to maybe a, I might be lying. I know he has trapped a lot. Not gonna take that away from him. But I've seen a lot more in Desanable than I've ever seen in X-Row. So I'm gonna give that a, some party strings, So Desanable, I'll put him 25. I say 25 only because people that had good shots, better shots, not necessarily better shots, but the way of playing, I feel like, another reason why I say this is because I feel like he would have moved on pretty quickly as if he did, and I don't think that it didn't burn inside of him as long as it did for some of us. I mean, shoot, I'm still playing Call of Duty, and that's because I'm not done yet. I'm not satisfied completely, I guess, and I just want to give more than what I ever could have given. So yeah, I think 25 to 20, just because I feel like he could have at least got to there. I think he could have even been at 15 because I could see him beating Tethify. I could see him beating Snowy. I could see him beating Codal as well. None of them would beat him on Nuketown. It would be very hard because they can't even hit a 50 piece. Dang near. They can't do that. Barely. If they did, it would be the most... Their whole shot would be messed up by the time they got to 50. They would be praying to goodness that it's a ground game map the next game. But all right. Davion was a good friend, but changed and started being selfish. Wasn't that good until I showed him rushing. Me and Davion were ground game duos. I had a trap duo, which was Joodles, actually. Joodles, another one of the best trappers for sure. I'll give that to him. Ground game wasn't too bad, but wasn't too smart. And that's what holded him back. But Joodle's definitely one of the better players. I'll give him a good 30 to 35. Because he never really grew too fast when it came to ground game. And his traps kind of went up and then it went down, and he had a very rickety thing going on. I'm gonna probably walk around now because I don't really want to sit anymore. But yeah, Davion, I recently talked to him on Cold War because I was beating this guy Smackia. If you go down to my videos, you'll see me. I kind of talked about Smackia and exposed it a little bit. Davion, he like 2v2'd with me, with Bevy and I think Smackia. I think it was also with another friend of mine that I don't even talk to anymore because they fucked that up, talking crap behind my back. But yeah, Davion, he was a good duo at the time. I talked about him in another video. I like to see him snake. I didn't give a crap. I thought it was freaking amazing. Yeah, I thought it was freaking hilarious. He'd slap the crap out of people with that crap. It was so funny. So Davion has one of the cleanest, probably the cleanest. He was probably the best at camping I've ever seen because it was just so... He was just so random, but it was so natural. I'll give it to him. He had such a great defense. It was ridiculous. I gotta say. There was just past him without him just exploiting it from you. Just, it was so good at shot, as a matter of fact. When he was snaking people, when I seen him play people on raid, he barely missed a dang thing. He didn't really miss at all. Not really. Like sometimes, very beautiful shot. Gotta give it to him. Trapping, man, this guy couldn't trap for a dang. Now he hit like a 20. I've seen it. Me, I was his duo. Let's get to the trash talking a little bit more. As I said, I actually taught him a little. I encouraged him to stop camping because I told him, I'm like, dude, you're great at what you're doing, but I can see how that's going to backfire on you one day. And he didn't believe me, so I played him and I told him, I'm like, look, man, if I can rush you off of this the way that I am right now, which I did, I rushed him off of that little spot that he likes to snake, because I'm like, dude, you just sit there, you're not rushing. So how in the heck are you gonna know what to do, when it comes to rushing? This can't be the only... I don't see this as the extent of what you could really do here, And, of course, he was more of a defensive, so he never really got too, good at that, necessarily. I'm not gonna lie, though, he did, because after I hit him off of that spot that nobody really hits him off of at the time, because the thing is, I can feel when you're about to shoot me. I can feel when you're about to come at me, so I knew how to get around it. Because most of the time, someone doesn't just come out and shoot, even though they're snaking, because they can see you the whole time. But there's just certain things that you do that make somebody act upon it, of action, or to not act so soon. And if you can understand that, and that's kind of what the way I play people is revolved around. I know how to make you do what I want. And I know how to trick you. I know how to make you miss me. you know, when it really counts. So yeah, he actually got pretty good at rushing after that. I've seen him play people for post. He wasn't camping no more. I'm like, dang. See, I told you you'd be good at this crap. Jesus. Definitely a top player. In his own regards. Not bad at all. I'll give it to him. You know, round of applause. But you're a bitch, you're a piece of shit, you're fake, you're grimy, and honestly, I really don't like you, and I don't think I ever will, because you'll never change. You're selfish, you're freaking degenerate, you're all that, and you just stick to your friends touching balls and dicks together. I don't know. There's something wrong with that fucking idiot. Knocked him up against the head with a fucking boulder. I'll give him. He could have potentially got to 15. 25, 20 to 15. Because he had the possibility. And oh yeah, I forgot to say, guys, when I say 30, 35, whatever, that just means the placement that I believe that they could have been in around that area. So just in case someone missed it, because I can't fit that many people into one category, you're right. This is just me gauging of where they could have been around. I'm gauging how good they could have been. So if I say like 5, this means that they, to me, had that high of a, probability. They were that good, This is getting down to the wire, which I'm actually pretty happy. I just wanted to do this, right? But okay, Venetic, sorry, you dumb bitch. Faked games, wasn't shit, and FPS. Also, I think Sebzy also faked games, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I already know Verkstra did. But I think Sebzy did as well. He didn't really care too much. Actually, I might be lying. But I thought I heard someone say, I thought I did. Davion, I don't think he did. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. But we all know Venetic did. Venetic, pretty good shot. Mostly monitor-based player, though. One of the most monitor-based fuckers I've ever seen. Verkstra, much the same. Davion, much the same. Okay, Trapper. 20s to 30s, maybe. Might be over-exaggerating a little bit. Not too good at trapping to me. Got a nice black scope. Pretty good understanding. Not too bad. But I think he just got way too... I think he put himself a little too high too early. He was a younger person as well. And I think that's what took him down later on. I think so what I seen with him is, as time went on, he started to slowly dwindle and wither away. And I think it was these people that he was playing and talking crap to him and getting to him. And soon enough, he, it just ate away at him, and the game ate at him, and it was pretty much over. I got a prickly in my dang. Ew, get that out of my foot. But, yeah, I think that was what made him drive away the most. I could also feel as if he didn't have it too easy, and maybe he just got sick of it. Maybe, and I know he thought he was one of the best as well. He had a very proud, loud inside of his freaking soul. Holy crap. But yeah, he was a piece of crap. He wasn't as good as what people were saying. Very overrated player. I will say that right now. Super overrated. Davion, I was talking so much shit about Davion. Davion is definitely underrated. He was actually very good. I know people gave him a lot of credit, but there was a lot of people that downgraded him as well, and to extreme degrees that he did not deserve. He was actually very good, and he could have been better. Fnatic though, overrated as crap. Not that dang good. He had the potential to be, but he chose, as others did, and I will keep saying this, to do what he did. And guess what? You went off. But hope you're doing good, because I could definitely see that there could have been some pain going on. Hope you're doing great, dude. Alright, so this is probably going to be the last one I do. So, Nike was trash and talked shit. I played this guy. He had a crappy connection. Fnatic had one of the crappiest connections as well. Davion's connection wasn't good either. Vergstra's connection was garbage. Oh, I'm so glad this starts coming back to me, man. But but yeah, Nike, bro, he's say that he beat certain people, and it was just a bunch of, a ruse to just build himself up. And some people he did, but most he didn't. He really didn't. He didn't really beat anyone that great, as he said that he did. Because like I said, we're not really here to, but that's what you did. You also, what? He faked games. Yeah, he did. Yeah. Nike did fake games. He tried to, failed, because he got caught. Fucking idiot. Another thing about him, he's he's easy to catch in his lies. Very overrated. I heard people talking about him super freaking, not super, well, kind of super overrated. He got a little too much praise. He wasn't that good at Nuketown as he liked to say. I beat him there. He was better at ground game, gotta say. But he was one of them scaredy players. He wasn't really comfortable with coming out too much. This is when we get down to what he could have been better at, and that was more being exposed. He's the type of player that he don't want to expose himself too much, because he doesn't want to get, he was one of those players that's very afraid to lose. As of all the other campers, Davion's another one of them. Fnatic's another one of them. Vergstra's another, I can name a few. They don't like the fact of getting shot, because when they get shot, it's like that fear of them losing just flashes before their eyes, and Nike had one of the most scary personalities when playing somebody, and showed how loud he used to talk crap and scream and yell, whatever. He was one of them people I'd be like, gosh damn it, we can get him off something. Vergstra, Fnatic, more the same, whatever. But, yeah. I think Fnatic also hit people off too, now that I think about it. I think I'm starting to remember that now. But yeah, definitely overrated on Nike. Talk too much crap, man. Lower your voice a little bit. Definitely could have been better though. I just think he more so got on. He wanted to be better, and he didn't pay attention to what he should have been paying attention to, and it kind of kept him at the same level for a while, and he didn't stay too long, Hopefully he's doing all right though, as of others. So this is 100% going to be the last one. Cotive, overrated, only talk to known people. I actually used to hang around Cotive before he changed his name. I don't even remember what it was. Not too good at Nuketown. People, something about him saying, I don't even know if he said that. I know he talked full of himself a bit. Wasn't good at Nuketown. Seen Scrubsy whoop the heck out of him. I think he was talking crap to him. Just get out of here. Got a little monitor. Got a little too big-headed. Got your shit fucking smacked around on the fucking brick wall. Might as well have got his freaking nose freaking slammed on the kitchen sink, bathroom sink, stall, whatever. Pretty good ground game, not as good as what people were saying. Oh my gosh, is one of the most overrated players. I don't care what anybody freaking says. He is just so empty. Like you know when you look at someone playing or you play someone and you just don't feel too much from them. It's just so empty. So empty. And we hit the hour. So freaking empty. Just nothing. Nothing. I swear. He was just a hollow shell. Such a hollow shell. And he started just getting whooped by everybody at one point. At the end of, in the midst. He just started getting demolished by pretty much everybody. I think someone tried to put him, I heard someone say he was like 20 to 50. I'm like, what? No, no, he ain't. I'll give cotive like 35 to 40. And I'm being critically honest with that. Because I know he wouldn't have lasted. That nigga, he would not have lasted. But yeah, I think that's it. Other than I think cotive had a good shot potential. He definitely had a good potential of being one of the better maneuvers of the game. I just think he struggled more with him, with the impressions he was giving out, and he got caught up with more so of his with what he was portraying within himself, and I think it it projected back onto himself, and it slowed him down a lot. Very sad to see, but unfortunately, to some degree, your fault, man. You should have slowed down, eased up a little bit, young man. But yeah, I think that sums it up for that. Had a good time. Glad I could come back on here. I liked what I brung this time a lot better. Hope y'all are doing good. And trust me, we are a bit far from over. Who knows? And I can't wait to get to this video that I'm thinking about, because this one's gonna be the special one to me. And I'm gonna congratulate people that deserve it. Coming from me this time. I'm gonna be able to look back on that. But yeah.